Friday TDD, live from New York with Jim Lentz. Take it away, Jim.
Yep, thanks, Ken, and welcome everybody. It's Friday night, and we're doing some TDD here. We actually had a question that we're gonna look at first before we dive into that, and it was basically like you want to deploy a fungible token. What's the easiest way / best way to do that? And so a way that I was thinking, right? This is Jim Coin, and this is right leveraging our nice open Zeppelin things. So we have ERC20. So when you say is ERC20, that's just inheriting all the base functions that they're expecting transfer from and things like that. And so in ERC20, you only have this underscore mint, which is like an internal function that no one can really call from the outside. So that's why I added this mint function that's only owner. So this one, the idea is that it has to be less than the max supply. And I think he's saying that, so what I was getting, if you look at the screenshot here, get total max supply. So I just made these two getter functions just to make it easier to see what these variables are. And the total supply, which is just a function from ERC20, right? This should give us the amount that have already been minted. And the max total supply is what I'm enforcing as like you can't mint more than this many, right? There's not any staking rewards or any of that. It's just like a token that exists and doesn't really do anything. You can trade it on Polygon, right? Send it to people. Yeah, so this is just kind of the simplest fungible token, I guess you could say. Because you need some way for it to be minted, right? Some people just mint them all in the constructor to one address, but I thought it was cool to have this mint where you can mint them to different addresses later, some amount. And so Jamil's response here is basically moving the initialization of this max total supply into the constructor. He's saying this decimals function could be weird when you just do it here in the actual variable when you're declaring it there. So let's try that. So in the constructor here, equals this amount, just one equals. Okay. So then I'm going to save that. And you can save this into, your GitHub. You can even save it into a gist, which is kind of cool. Like, gist is kind of just like a quick one single file without a whole repo and project with it. I can say create gist. Because when you have your remix here, you kind of want to come back to it later, right? Maybe you want to load this onto a different computer, and it will want you to like create this file again, right? There's even here, you can say load from gist. Let's try this. Okay. So then it loads this Gemcoin. And then we go to the next thing here, which is compile it. And looks like we're getting some kind of issues here. This is 060. So maybe if I bring this down to like a 06 compiler. Okay, so that worked okay. And then we want to go to our deploy here, right? We can just do injected. And if I just go to like Polygon, so now in the constructor of mine, I'm taking this name and symbol. These are basically the things you need to pass into the ERC20, name and symbol. So we're just forwarding them in here. So I was calling this Gym coin, the symbol Gym. Okay, so it's gonna cost me this little bit of Matic, but that's fine. Okay, so then we have a token here basically now. So the name is Gym coin. Total supply is this. Max total supply is this. Okay, so that makes sense. Right, and I don't. So the address. Yeah, I wanted to have a function here that would just return the address, but. So this is the owner, that's my account. And there's probably an easier way to see this. We could just make this public, right? Anyone can call this, it's okay. I guess external. And then we can return, I think you can say this. Is that right? Solidity get contract address? Yeah, address this. Okay. Okay. And I think we can just redeploy this. Oh, my token here. Sorry, this was the address here. So this one then deployed again. If I say this address, yeah, this 95V is the same as this 95V. So you could just copy it here. And then if we look at like Polygon scan, this is like Etherscan, but for Polygon. So we can see this one, contract creation. So maybe if I call something. So total supply is this. Maybe if I say, let's mint some. Anybody want some gym coins? Send me your address. So if I say like 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah? All right, send me your address. I'll send you some.
I don't know how to do that.
In MetaMask here, right? So this is your public address. This you can just share with anybody. Your other credentials in here, you don't want to share with anybody.
Okay. So that'll be my project for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So total supply. So if I go here now, see it says 2 because I minted the initial 100 here and then 2. And this, I think, only sent me 2 of like the smallest way decimal of them. And I should actually be able to add a token. So I can add a custom token. And if I put in my address, right? See, it says 83 silly squares. So it already knows this, that the token symbol is Jim. It has 18 decimals. So, and it sees that my balance here. So I'm going to add tokens to MetaMask, right? Because there's a 2 somewhere down here. So it's just 0.000. That's fine. Cool. And so this is a real coin now on Polygon. You could do stuff with it, right? I could send it to someone, or I could just mint it to them from here. And I can always take this address, right? And then put it in here, load a contract at this address, and that's how I can get back to it later and then call things, right? I can call the get total supply. That has the right number. If I mint things, yeah.
Hey, Jim.
If you want to, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Oh, sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
Just quickly, if you wanted to mint a larger number of tokens, like, millions of tokens, would there be any difference in cost and gas fees?
We could try it. I mean, I think 1, 2, I put 18 decimals, so I need to do, I think 18 decimals just have 1 token, 18 zeros. 3, 17, 18. And then, so I've made 100 trillion of them. So let's say I add another like 10 zeros, 11 zeros, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Okay, so I click mint. Oh, sorry, I'm putting this in the wrong box. Interesting. Oh, cannot mint more than max supply. I might just have too many zeros. Okay, so I deleted 1 0 and pretty small amount of gas, right? This much matic. And yeah, that's like way less than a cent. How many zeros is it? Ah,
So what was the cost in dollars for a gazillion gem coins?
it was like 0.0. Wait, where was it? Sorry, here. Yeah. So it's 4 zeros and then 3. So it's like 1. If you say Matic is about $1 each, then that's what? 3.
A 10,000th of a cent?
I think it's a 10th or 100th of a cent. Right?
Wow.
Because it would be this one times 100. That's how many cents it would be. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's
within
like
anyone's
totally
budget.
different. It's kind of funny that it goes from like prohibitively expensive on mainnet to just like nothing on Polygon. So I'm going to reject those other two. I hit that 3 times. But the mint is going through here. And then we should be able to see my assets just go up when that finishes. Okay. Guess that was, oh no, here it is. So it's taking more time, possibly because the gas is so low that where it's just waiting for a block to complete on Polygon. Like you need other transactions just for it to finish.
No, that was amazing. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And it was something that I've been trying to figure out too recently, and someone else was asking me about it, but yeah, and it would also be interesting, right? How we recently deployed these silly squares, the NFTs. So it would be cool to have some kind of game where like you use these to play and then you get some kind of ERC20 token, right? And we can just mint our own token out of thin air and give it out to people. And then maybe eventually people will think of it as like being worth something. This is taking an awfully long time though.
Well, if it's a game people want to play, then they'll want it.
Well, it's like a chicken and the egg kind of thing, right? It's like if people want the coin, then maybe that will drive them to play the game. But then if they like playing the coin, if they like playing the game, then the coin is just kind of a bonus thing.
It definitely depends who your audience is and how familiar they are with accessing this resource. But just generally speaking, free stuff moves a lot faster than stuff you have to pay for. So it's just totally makes sense to just give stuff away at the beginning, at least, just to get a user, as large a user base as possible. You just got to build the fire slowly.
And that's the nice thing, is that on these layer 2 things, right, it doesn't cost you a lot to move around really small amounts of coin, or even a lot of coin, so you can just give away, have it just like slowly drip and like go to people as like reward for something, or yeah, just some way to drive traffic to your game or to keep people to come back and play it.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Okay, so this finished. So the total supply now is this much, which is maybe like one, well, actually no, I only minted this much. There's still plenty of zeros worth of stuff to fill. And if I look at my account, see, it just like, it makes the actual like tokens just seem like toys, you know? And it's like, oh, well, I have 1 billion gym coin.
Well, yeah, if you can just get them to be worth $1, you're in
Yeah,
business.
right. Or a cent even, right?
Absolutely.
But you don't want to be like the people who started Dogecoin and then sold it all before it was even worth anything, right? That's just sad.
It's sad that they lost out, but the experiment is still valid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's like, do you even put that on your resume? You know, it's like people will be impressed, but they'll also make fun of you, right?
I personally, I would do it. Absolutely. I would be selling merchandise.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So that was fun, right? And the interesting thing about this, now that you actually have this in code, right? So if you wanted to do some crazy thing, right, like zombie creation or something, you know, you can add special functionality to your ERC20 token, and it will still be an ERC20 compliant thing, because all that requires is that you have these functions that ERC20 has. And so those will automatically add them into your contract and you're good. And then like this part, that's the thing that people, it confuses people, right? It's like, this technically is a fungible token, ERC20, right? And it's like, okay, well, what do I do now? You already did everything for me. So like, how do you even use this, right? And then you get into, okay, well, you need to mint it somehow. So you have to at least have a constructor or like some mint function where you can do that. And then, you know, like these I don't even really need. They're just kind of for me to see what these things are. But yeah, I would say keep it simple. And for some people, you know, using a dashboard where you go and click things is simpler, but you kind of have a lot, the most control when you just code it yourself, and you can do it in a way where it is still simple, right? And a lot of times they just add their own paywall or whatever for being the middleman and like making it quote unquote easier for you, when it's like, this was already easy, you know, you just, because this remix.ethereum.org is just kind of like an online compiler and deploys right to whatever network you're on, right? I think this is a consensus thing actually, and so it's just like open source out there for people to use, and it's pretty nice.